Hello YouTube, my name is Billy and welcome back to my kitchen. This is going to be day 2 of our vegan recipes. We're going to do some lasagna and I'm also going to, I'm going to do spaghetti squash so I can get just the vegetables without all the carbs. So for starters, I'm going to preheat the oven to 350. And in a large pot of water, I'm going to bring that to a boil, and I've already salted that water. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and show you how I'm going to do my spaghetti squash. This is really simple, but it does take a pretty good amount of time. All right, you want a very sharp knife, and you want to take your spaghetti squash, and you want first remove the sticker, which I think I've already done, and then you're going to just cut this in half, and they are very firm, so make sure you're very careful and you know where your hands are. All right, and that comes right apart pretty quick, easily. Now, if you look at these, they have, it's kind of like cleaning out the inside of a pumpkin. So you're going to take a spoon and you're just going to go around the inside and scoop out all the seeds. Now, if you wanted to, you could save the seeds and toast them. But I have tons of seeds, so I'm not going to save these. I'm just going to clean this out. All right, and now for the other one. Oh, okay, you're gonna have to help me, because I'm busy. What were they trying to do?
Rushing at her, and she was growling.
Well, okay, once you have your spaghetti squash cleaned out, all right, you're gonna take a pretty large baking dish and you're gonna put them upside down with the cut side down, like that. Okay? And then you're just gonna fill your pan up with water. You don't need a lot, you just wanna make sure there's enough that comes up around both sides. Okay, and then we're gonna take that and we're gonna put those in the oven, and that's gonna cook for 45 minutes to an hour. And it's probably gonna take closer to an hour. This is about a 3-pound spaghetti squash, and typically they're all about the same size. So 45 minutes, check it, but most likely it's gonna take an hour. Now, for my non-vegan part, I'm going to show you how I'm going to make my mixture for the lasagna rolls, which will be for the others in the household. You're gonna want about a medium-sized bowl. Where's the ricotta cheese? Okay, we're gonna be making 4 lasagna rolls, so I'm gonna do about half, or maybe, I don't know, 3/4 of a small tub, about 15 ounces of ricotta cheese. Actually, no, I'm using the whole thing. All right, I'm gonna save that spoon. Now I'm gonna build the flavors of the ricotta cheese up because they're very bland. It's very bland, and it needs a lot of help. So I'm gonna do 2 cloves of garlic. Snip the ends, and the wrapper comes right off. Nice and easy. Okay. All right, we're gonna give the garlic a nice little chop. All right, and then we're just gonna take the garlic and put that in with the ricotta. Okay, we're gonna start building the flavors. We're gonna do a little sprinkle of salt. A little pepper. Okay, we're gonna I'm just gonna eyeball this. This is all to taste, so I'm gonna sprinkle in some oregano. Some thyme. A little bit of basil. And just a few dashes of rosemary. Not a lot of the rosemary. Okay. Okay, and I'm just gonna take my spoon and I'm just gonna work that all the way through the mixture, dragging the spoon all the way through, because you really want to mix the mixture up pretty well. And you want garlic and all the seasonings all the way through. the entire mixture. Okay, we're gonna let that set so the flavors penetrate the ricotta cheese. Okay, so now we're gonna go over here to the stove. And hopefully a pretty large skillet. I'm going to turn to medium heat. I'm going to put a little drizzle of olive oil. Not very much. Just a drizzle. Okay, so right now what I have here, this is, oh, wrong one. In this package here, I have a package of the Morningstar Farms. This is the griller crumbles. It's vegan safe. There's no meat in this whatsoever, but it gives the flavor and the texture of ground beef. So we're going to use that in the skillet. And I'm going to do 2 cups. And basically you're just going to heat and brown the meat. It's already brown, but it comes in a frozen package, so we're just going to heat that up until it's done. Okay, now back over here. We're going to just set that aside. And now I'm going to work on my sauce that's going to go over the top of my spaghetti squash. I don't remember what time I put those in. Okay, I have a pretty good sized can. Let's see, 14.5 ounce can of stewed tomatoes. And I've got a medium sized sauce pot. And I'm going to just dump that in there, juice and all. All right, I'm gonna do some olives, black olives. Now I'm not going to drain these because I'm not going to use all of them. I'm going to use about half of the jar. So I'm just going to get a spoon. And I'm just going to do about half of the can. These are large black olives that have been pitted. Okay, that's about right. Okay. All right, we're gonna go back over here to our meat. Give that a nice little toss. It doesn't really take that long to get this hot. Okay, and if you look back there, we've got our big pot of water that's boiling, so we're gonna go ahead and you're gonna take your lasagna noodles, and for us it's gonna be 4. And you're gonna put them in, but you don't wanna put them in, you wanna put them at different angles so they don't stick and you don't run into problems. And you're just going to let those cook until they're completely done. Okay. So our meat mixture is done, so we're going to turn that off. And I'm going to take half of that and add it into the ricotta cheese, and that's going to be for the lasagna rolls. Okay, and the other half, I'm just gonna put in with the sauce that I'm making for my spaghetti squash. All right, scoot over, Jude. Scoot over, Jude. Okay, so now back to my sauce. All right, I've got a jar of artichoke hearts, and I'm just gonna open those up and drop a few in. If I can get the jar open. There we go. Okay, and I'm gonna do about 4 artichoke hearts. All right. Now, again with my sauce, I'm going to build the flavors. I'm going to add some salt. some ground black pepper. A dash of oregano. And that's all to taste. Dash of basil. Dash of thyme. Now I like rosemary, so I'm gonna be a little bit more generous with the rosemary on my sauce. Okay. All right. We're gonna take 2 cloves of garlic. Just snip the ends. And that wrapper comes right off. So easy. Ah, there was a little one hiding in there, but that's okay. I like garlic. We'll use it. Okay. And I'm just going to chop that up. Now for mine, I tend to leave my garlic a little bit more chunky because I like it. Okay, I'm going to take 1 yellow bell pepper and I'm going to cut the stem side off. And then I'm going to take a spoon. And this works really easy. You just go right around the inside and all the seeds come out nice and easily. Yes, sir, Jude. And it comes out nice and easily in one little scoop. You just take your spoon and go around the edges and break off the little connecting pieces, and it comes out clean. Okay, and then I'm just gonna slice this. And then turn them. And slice again. That's going in the pot. Okay, we're going to use a spoon and just give that a nice little toss. All right, we're going to put the lid on that, put it on the stove at medium heat, and let it simmer until we're ready to use it. Okay, I forgot one little ingredient in my sauce, but it's still early, so I can still use it. I'm going to add one sweet red onion. Actually, I'm going to do about, I'm going to use it all. Just cut it in half. Pull off the outer layer. All right, and I'm going to leave them pretty chunky. I'm just going to slice them. I like garlic and onion. It's really good. If you like it. I know a lot of people don't, but I do. All right, so we're going to take the onions and toss those in the sauce pot. Okay, now our lasagna noodles are just about done, so I'm going to show you what we're going to do with those. I'm going to show you over here. I'm going to run some cold water. I'm going to drain the lasagna noodles. Now you want to run cool water over the lasagna noodles. Now if you're making regular lasagna, this does not apply, but when you make the lasagna rolls like I do, it's very important. Keep your noodles wet so they don't get sticky, and you want them completely done so they're friable. All right. So you're going to take your mixture here, and we're going to work our meat substitute into the ricotta just till it's thoroughly incorporated nicely. There we go. Get a small bowl. Just dump your mozzarella cheese or whatever kind of cheese you like. Now this is definitely not for me. I am happy to say that I have stuck to my vegan route. This will be day 2. I'm doing pretty good so far. No problems. All right, now you're going to want a plate or something you can work with. All right, you're going to take your plate, lay your lasagna noodle down, get your meat mix, your ricotta mixture, and you're going to put your desired amount of ricotta cheese down and just kind of pat it with a spoon, or you could use your hands. Now you want to save a little room at both ends. Okay. All right. Then you're gonna a layer of mozzarella. Okay, and then you're just going to roll it up. All right. Set that in your baking dish and do the next one. Mixture down. Can you get those fish sticks and put them on that baking dish for me? All right. Mozzarella. Lasagna rolls are probably one of my favorite. Lasagna rolls are one of my favorite dishes, not only for myself, which I'm not eating them anymore, or not like this, but my family loves them when I make them. And they're also really good to make if you're feeding a lot of people. They're very filling, so I come from a family of pretty big eaters, so, and I don't know anyone that can eat more than two. They're very filling and they're fairly inexpensive to make. So I mean, if you have a big, family gathering or work due, lasagna rolls are a great way. They're not that incredibly expensive, and they feed a lot of people. All right. Last one. Lasagna rolls can be really versatile. Your mixture can consist of just about anything you want to go in it. You could add all kinds of vegetables. You could add all kinds of meats, whatever you like. Okay. The fourth one is done. Let me rinse my hands really quick. All right, now right here, we have our lovely little lasagna rolls. And you're gonna take your favorite sauce, or you can make your own. Just pour the sauce over the top and make sure you get some around the edges so they don't stick. Down the center. All right. There you go. Sprinkle on a little bit more mozzarella. I like mozzarella because it melts really well. It's really creamy, really gooey, and when you're doing anything that needs a good meltable cheese, mozzarella is the way to go.
Mama?
Yes, sir. Can you say hi, Jude? Look, this is Jude. He's 2. He's adorable. All right. Your lasagna rolls are going to go in the oven at 350 for just about 30 minutes until they're bubbling and hot. Okay, just about everything is ready, and right here I have 6 slices of pretty good artisan bread, and on these 4 here I've just melted half a stick of butter, and I use some of the seasoning mix that I make up myself, and that's just a tablespoon of salt, a tablespoon of black pepper, a tablespoon of onion powder, a tablespoon of garlic powder, and a tablespoon of smoked paprika. And if you like a little bit of heat, you can add a quarter to half a teaspoon of a cayenne pepper. And you just mix that up, and I just put about 2 pinches of that in the melted butter. And then I use my basting brush and go over that. Now, for my 2 pieces up here, I used, give me this stuff. This Earth Balance, non-dairy, vegan, buttery spread, and I melted some of that and used my mix, and I put that on my bread. And then we're just gonna turn the griddle to 300, and we're just gonna grill those on each side until you have a nice little garlic toast. Okay, it's been 1 hour in the oven with my spaghetti squash, so I'm going to get my pot holders ready. Alright, I'm going to lay that right there. I'm going to take the spaghetti squash out of the oven. Okay. You're going to take some tongs and very carefully, because the outside is very slippery, and you're just going to carefully turn them over. Now, when you turn them over, there's going to be a lot of steam in that little hole there, so be careful. You don't want a steam burn. All right, we're going to put that in the bowl. Okay, and then I'm just going to carefully, if you watch closely, I'm going to take my fork down and just start twisting. And then, as you can see, okay, if you put your fork into it and then you just start twisting, you get these lovely little strands which resembles pasta. And that's why it's called spaghetti squash. And you're just going to do that all the way around until you have all the insides out into the bowl. And this will stay hot for quite some time. You can stop. Okay, my spaghetti squash pasta is done. My all vegetable tomato sauce that I made is done. Our lasagna is done. And our garlic toast is done. So now it's time for us to eat and plate.